There once lived a young man named Arjun in a peaceful village. Everyone in the village knew him, not because he was rich, not because he was powerful, but because he had one of the kindest hearts anyone had ever seen. If an elderly person was struggling to carry heavy bags from the market, Arjun would quietly take them and walk all the way home. If children gathered in the evening looking for someone to play with, Arjun would always make time for them, no matter how busy he was. Travelers passing through the village often remembered him as the young man who offered them water with a smile before they even asked. People would often say, if Arjun is nearby, the whole place feels very joyful and relaxing. Everyone loved him. But Arjun had one weakness. He reacted too quickly. The moment he heard something upsetting or saw part of a situation, he jumped to conclusions without waiting to understand the full story. One afternoon, while walking through the village, Arjun heard a man shouting at his friend, "You should be ashamed of yourself." The words echoed across the street. Without waiting another second, Arjun rushed over. "How can you speak to him like that?" Arjun said angrily. "He looks exhausted. And instead of helping him, you're insulting him?" The man looked surprised. Then he gently replied, "Arjun, you only heard one sentence." He pointed toward a frightened cow standing nearby. This morning his cow wandered into the forest. He ran for hours through rocky paths searching for her. Turning back to his friend, he said softly, "I told him he should be ashamed because he risked his own life. What if he had slipped? What if he had been badly injured?" Suddenly, everything became clear. Arjun's face turned red with embarrassment. He had judged the entire situation after hearing only 4 words. Standing under a banyan tree nearby was an old woman named Mira. She had quietly watched everything. As Arjun walked away, she called him over. "My child," she said with a gentle smile. Mira said, "Sometimes the first thing we hear is only one page of a much longer story." Arjun lowered his head. Mira continued, "Many people react before they understand, but wisdom begins when we learn to listen completely." Those words stayed with Arjun. From that day onward, he made a promise to himself. Whenever he felt the urge to react, he would first pause, listen, and understand. A few weeks later, he got another chance to practice. Near the village market, a shopkeeper suddenly shouted, "Stop him! Stop that boy!" Everyone immediately looked at a young boy running away with a wooden cart. Some villagers started chasing him. But this time, Arjun remembered Mira's words. Instead of shouting, he calmly ran after the boy and asked, "Tell me what happened." The boy, breathing heavily, pointed behind him. The cart's wheel was loose. It was rolling downhill toward the shop. If I hadn't grabbed it and pulled it away, it would have crashed into the glass jars. Just then, the shopkeeper reached them. He looked at the cart. The damaged wheel was hanging by a single wooden pin. For a moment, he stood silent. Then he placed his hand on the boy's shoulder. "I'm sorry," he said. "You were trying to save my shop." The crowd slowly dispersed. Many villagers looked at Arjun and smiled. Had he reacted the way he once used to, an innocent boy would have been blamed in front of everyone. That evening, Mira saw Arjun sitting outside his house. She asked, "So, what changed?" Arjun smiled. "I realized that listening takes only a few extra moments. But reacting too early can hurt someone for a lifetime." Mira nodded. The strongest people are not the ones who speak first. They are the ones who understand first. And from that day on, people admired Arjun even more. Not only because he had a kind heart, but because he had learned something even more valuable. He had learned that before judging someone's actions, before getting angry, before deciding who is right and who is wrong, sometimes the kindest thing you can do is simply listen. Because a single sentence can be misleading. A single moment can be misunderstood. But when you patiently hear the whole story, you often discover that reality is very different from what you first believed.